to this speedy tour in Miraflores. I have a tour in 20 minutes, so I just want to show you a bit of my way to, well, the meeting place with my group. We are in a beautiful location in Miraflores district, the touristic center of the city. So I thought it would be fun to just walk with you and show you a bit more of the city. So, well, I am just going to work. So my name is Vanessa. I am your Lima City tour guide. I'm based in the capital of Peru. I do tours here virtually and in person. And well, this is Miraflores, is the touristic district of Lima. This district is always very busy. It has bad traffic in the morning time, at night time as well. But also another thing that is fun about this district is the fact that you can find the best hotels in this location, wonderful restaurants also nearby. I think I'll show you some of those very good restaurants. And also we have lots of casinos, lot clubs, bars for the night time especially. Miraflores is so fun to be at. You have microbreweries here, so you can try some excellent local beer in this location. So it is in this moment 1:45 more or less p.m. here. So my tour begins at 2 p.m. So, and I will walk to the Park of Love, which is the meeting point with my group. So, in the meantime, I want to show you a bit of how is life here in Lima City. So, well, this is what I do for a living. I am a tour guide. Been guiding for many years in the city. And, well, I know lots of different corners and different directions, locations here in Lima. So Miraflores is one of the oldest districts of the city of Lima. Lima has 43 districts. It's a big city. It's a city that never sleeps, of course, like any other city, like New York City, for example, is also a multi-cultural city with lots of good restaurants and lots of interesting history. So in theory, we shouldn't cross, but okay, let's jaywalk a little bit. So hi also to any friend who is joining to this live stream. It will be also uploaded to the channel if you wish to see it from the beginning, but we just started. And so most people, what they do when they come to Lima, most tourists, I mean, like I am in the touristic industry, in the travel industry. Most people, what they do when they come to Lima is eating. So we have, for example, very close to this location, one of the top restaurants in the world. I think it just won a few weeks ago the place #1 in the world as well, the best restaurant in the prestigious list of the 50 best, and that is Maido restaurant. So it is the best restaurant in this moment in the world. I was able to go to Maido some years ago, and it was incredibly like exquisite. Like the food there is a combination, is a fusion of the Peruvian cuisine and Peruvian ingredients with Japanese cooking techniques, Japanese also food. So the owner of this restaurant is a Peruvian-born chef. Well, his nickname is Misha. I think his name is Matsutaru. Sorry, I cannot remember his name in this moment. But Misha is known as one of the top chefs we have in this moment in Peru, and a great ambassador of the fusion that Peruvians love and are so proud of. So this is the type of food that you can find in many restaurants. For example, this is the winter season. Soups and creams is what we need. This season is usually like a time in the year when we stuff ourselves with soups and desserts. Okay, so cream of mushrooms, asparagus cream, minuta soup is really a wonderful option for this season. Hola, ¿qué tal? Vamos a mostrar un poquito aquí la carta. So look at this, chupe de camarones. This one is a soup with shrimps. So just to give you an idea what you can get in winter season. Winter season for us is from, like we start see the climate getting like cold and sad. Like around the end of April, so beginning of May is when it gets sad and it gets also depressing. So this sky you see here, the gray sky, is really the norm here. It's a normal for more or less 6 months. Another good restaurant if you wanna, hi Annette, this is a surprise tour just for some minutes before I begin my other tour. I started with a nice tour this morning. I had a Jewish heritage tour of Lima with wonderful travelers. And now I have another one starting soon, but I miss you so much, I wanted to say hi. This restaurant is really a collection of restaurants. It's named Mercado because it sort of like recreates a market. And it has different stalls inside, like sort of like a stands where you can get different types of food, including the Peruvian Japanese food, Peruvian Chinese, Afro-Peruvian, and more. So Mercado, well, it's one of my to-go places if I have travelers who are undecided, who are not sure what to get. Like, for example, that happens a lot with groups, right? So not everybody wants to eat the same thing, like because they are so curious about like the Peruvian cuisine, and they say, Vanessa, oh my God, like Peru has such wonderful cuisine, but there are so many options, and one wants, I don't know, like Peruvian Chinese, and the other one wants Peruvian Japanese, so what we can eat? Well, if we have to be all together, so we go to a place like that one where they can get what they wish to try, and we can still be all together. Okay, so welcome to this short live stream, and also look at this, La Cervecería. So the microbrewery movement, let's say the locally made beer movement is big here in Peru. It started before the world pandemic around the year 2019, and well, it continues until these days. So for example, no, if you want to get say, I don't know, a cocktail from the house in Miraflores, like the average price will be like $10 to under that. So that's really for a, let's say, a nice restaurant in the area, right? So you have some nice drinks over here, La Cervecería, craft beer, and Peruvian food. So usually the beers we have here go very well with burgers, for example, or with like some like dippings. Oh, look at this. Oh my God, this is lunchtime. I will skip lunch because I have a tour immediately after the other one. But I mean, 30 minutes was not enough for having any lunch. So better I'm with you. So this is pollo a la brasa, rotisserie chicken with French fries, Peruvian marinating, Peruvian style, very tasty. Lomo saltado, this one here is Peruvian Chinese fusion, sauteing meat with vegetables. Oh my God, that's so tasty. French fries with it. So two of the best options. And so let's go on this side. So I love street art in Miraflores. Street art is one of my favorite forms of art, let's say, in the world. This is a tapada limeña, a bell woman from colonial times in Lima. So pretty. And we have here a wall that is always changing. There are many different street artists who every once in a while they do different type of like interventions in walls here in Miraflores. You need to have a special permission to do this from the city hall. So most of the times the artists who do like walls, like murals, they are also allowed by the city hall, but they have to use their own resources to make like these art pieces. Okay, so let's keep going. And here is the #1 restaurant in the world, Maido. Maido. So recently won this contest that every year happens among the top restaurants in the world. And also since few years ago, if you were able to like reach the place #1, position #1, you don't participate anymore. I mean, I'm talking about the 50 best of the world, no? You don't participate anymore because like you become a member, let's say, of a special club like forever, right? So the #1 in the world, the previous #1 in the world, which was a Peruvian restaurant, Central, is going to be always, forever and ever, like in a special Wall of Fame or Hall of Fame, let's say. So Maido is nowadays, of course, another one of the already famous list of Peruvian restaurants who reach the top 5. So we will continue. So the style, the design of the facade of the restaurant is also very interesting. Look at the wood piece over here. So it gives some privacy to the restaurant inside. The restaurant is not so big. And it doesn't need to be big because, of course, not so many people come to this restaurant. They are not able. So this is Maido, and you need to do reservations also ahead of time with lots of anticipation. So this street is a quiet street in Miraflores, and there was not really queue outside. So sometimes we see a queue, but probably it's because of the time in the day, so that people are already in there. So, and I see, I see there are questions. So let's I want to try to check. I don't know why I don't see them. Oh, okay. So I was able to tap on the screen and I see now your questions. So, hi Natalie, thanks for being here. Hola amiga. This is just a last minute short tour. So thanks for jumping on the tour. Very interesting, almost a forest of tree trunks. Yes, exactly. Yes. I think it's a very cute, let's say, design. It feels to me very Asian or, like Japanese. Probably is the intention. Very calming as well, and to give privacy to the interior. But I haven't seen it like inside with this new design. I went to Maido, how many years ago? I think it was 2018. So Maido had already some years, and it was already positioned as one of the best in the world. And I was able to go in there because I was the tour guide of a group of like gourmet travelers. So I was so lucky because I was able to visit Central with them, Maido, also, and many restaurants that now are considered #1. And I was paid to do that. So that's one of the, I think, one of the plus, one of the good sides of being a tour guide. Well, most of the times you have really like great opportunities when you are a tour guide, but also you have to deal with different things, like for example, traffic and stress, and sometimes some complications on the way. But it's a very beautiful job. Probably it's not for everybody, but I really love to be a tour guide. So we are now walking, as I said before, one of the quiet streets of Miraflores. This street also has some interesting architecture dating back to the 1920s, 1930s. So look at this piece of history here. So Miraflores has these few still standing houses that show us a bit of the heritage of the district, even though we are surrounded by, well, these modern buildings everywhere. And many of these old houses, they're not colonial, by the way. They are 1920s, 1930s, 1940s. But they show us that Miraflores was once a neighborhood for people who were just during the summertime here. This was a beach resort. So these houses are not really so practical for winter because they are very, very ventilated houses. They are made from mud, mainly mud brick walls, very thick walls, as you see. And if we go across, let me show you across on this other side. So these houses, look at this side, this flank of the house. So they are very tall, they are very well ventilated, and they also are cold in winter because they get direct wind from the ocean. So this is a good design for summer, but not for winter. And this is, well, because these houses were only used during the summertime. They were not used during the winter. So we can imagine so many other houses of this kind here in this neighborhood. Well, we don't have them anymore. There used to be another one here. Now it turned into a, well, it used to be a playa, which in Peruvian Spanish, that means parking. So probably it is still one, but it looks close. So when you see playa in these odd spaces where there's no beaches, playa means beach, literally in Spanish. That is because that is actually a parking lot, okay? So, and we are going to reach now this other avenue that is also very, very important. This is Avenue Diagonal and Diagonal, let's say. And let's say if we can cross, because from this angle we don't see if we can cross still. And you know, Peruvian drivers are crazy drivers. Peruvian drivers are macho drivers. I always call them macho because they tend to be very aggressive drivers. So Peruvians tend to like jaywalk a lot. But also we know that priority goes to the drivers and not to the pedestrians. Isn't that sad? So it shouldn't be like that. But that is in our mind, that is inserted like in our chip, in our mind chip. So in that direction, if we walk 2 blocks straight, we go to the Central Park of Miraflores, to the so-called Kennedy Park of Miraflores. And well, on the other direction, you can see also there is a bridge here. We are walking over a bridge, but under the bridge there is a pathway that goes in both directions to the Central Park or back to the ocean, to the beach. No macho pedestrians. Oh, Gregory, we have to be also macho pedestrians, but we know like we can lose. So you can see also there are cars going to the opposite direction, because going to the opposite direction, you go to the beach. Hi, Queen. Thanks for being here. This is just a little tour before I begin my other tour in person. But I miss you so much. I couldn't do tours this last week. So, well, I'm here. That's a club, tennis club. Tennis, you know, is a fancy sport. At least we perceive it as a fancy sport. And in Lima, well, the elite did like, well, this sport, which is tennis and golf, and also polo, but polo was even more like unusual. So this is the pathway to the beach, and now we go, okay, over here. So I have a very nice place to end this tour, which is just across. There's a beautiful house. No worries, I will not go over the car. But this location is quite close to the beginning of my other tour. So Look at that house that is emerging in front of us. Completely different to the other houses that and buildings we saw in this part. That house is from the also beginnings of the 20th century. It shows really an era of wealth, sort of like the Gilded Era in North America. For us, the end of the guano boom also brought like lots of wealth to many families in Peru, but not so like all of the families, of course. We're talking about the families that were the ones ruling, right? The families who were also descendants of immigrants, most of them European immigrants. We had also immigrants that were non-Europeans who were not wealthy thanks to the guano. For example, the Chinese. The Chinese were treated as second-class citizens, and they didn't make really profits from the hard work they did during the guano boom. Okay, but here we can see some beautiful houses from this period of the history of Miraflores, when everything was quiet and beautiful, and this was a very exclusive neighborhood just for the creme de la creme, for summertime especially. So imagine this house is being used. Imagine these houses, being in the hands of these rich families. Now most of these houses are no longer homes; they are offices. Okay, so well, my dear friends, let me also say again hi to you all. Well, bye in this case, because we are about to end this tour. Thank you so much for being with me for these vlogs, and also, well, I hope to have you in my next events. I will be doing like history talks as usual, and maybe some walking tours, non-planned. So stay tuned, and thank you so much for your likes. It really helps me. Your likes help a lot these videos to be positioned much better, for YouTube also to take in consideration this channel. So I'm promoting also this channel. Gracias, Annette. Thank you so much. I miss you so much last week, these days. But well, hope to see you very soon, amigos. And until the next time. So best to you all. And well, see you soon. Bye bye. Gracias. Have a good day to you all. Have a wonderful day. And well, see you soon.